This is what we'll be cutting now. If you look very well, we'll have how many layers of sleeve here? We'll have 5 layers, 5 steps, 5 layers, whichever one you wish to call. How do we achieve this? So first of all, we are going to be cutting our basic sleeve, which will be needing our sleeve length. I'll be using 16 as my sleeve length, my round sleeve. I have my upper arm as 14 inches. Then my below my ankle, I have 12 inches. That's the measurement we'll be needing. My sleeve length and my round sleeve. I know you are familiar with that. So right now I'll be cutting my basic sleeve. So here I have my basic sleeve here. I will proceed to dividing my sleeve into 5 layers. So the upper layer of my sleeve, this smallest one on top, the smallest one on top, I'll be taking 5 inches. Depending on what you want, you can do 6, you can do below 5 inches. But I want to use 5 inches as this upper one, the upper sleeve. I feel this 5 inches is too small. Let me do 5.5. Okay, so you decide where you want your sleeve to stop. I want this smaller one to stop somewhere here, so I mark, then connect. Just watch what I am doing carefully. It's quite simple. So this is going to serve as my, okay, welcome back. So I said my first layer, I'm taking a 5.5 as the length of my first sleeve, the first sleeve on top. I have 5.5. Then I'll measure the remaining part of my sleeve. I have 11 inches here, and you know I'm expected to get 4 extra sleeves from this 11 inches. So I'm going to divide this 11 inches by 4. So I'll be having 4 equal parts. So I'll first of all divide by 2. I'll have 5.5 here. So this is the midpoint. So this point now, I'll have to divide this by 2. I'll be having a divide by 2, 2 points. So I have here, I'll mark here 2, here. So right now I have my 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I will have to connect to the upper part of my sleeve. Connect each of these to here. But be rest assured that the last part of my sleeve is going to end directly at my armhole. Unless if I want it to come down, I want the armhole to have part of the sleeve. If I want it that way, I would like to come down here by, let's say, 3 inches, not 2 inches. So I'll have to be connecting this. I'll give 2 inches away from this first layer. I have 2 inches here. That means this one is coming to this part. The third one is coming here. And let me use 2.5 here. Okay, I have 2.5 here. So I'm connecting my second layer to this point. This is what I have here. Then the third one, I'm connecting direct to where my armhole stop. I'm connecting this here. You can decide to go up, maybe connect somewhere around here. Let's say around here, this point. But I want it to stop at my armhole. So I have my 1 here, I have my 2, I have my 3. So this is my 4 and this is the fifth one. So the fourth one, I'll be connecting to this point. You can decide to connect all to this armhole point. If you want your sleeve to come lower than this, you can decide to bring it down. But let me connect all to my armhole. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, this is my number 4 and my the last point of my sleeve here have this. So this is my fifth layer. Okay, so this is the part I'll be making use of. So I have to trim off this other part off because I don't need it. This other part, I'm trimming it out. Okay, so this is what I have here. This is what I have. I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of sleeve. If I open it up, I have this. And again, while getting your armhole curve, you also the wideness here, you decide if you want the last cup, this last one to be pleated, the last part of your sleeve, the smallest one, if you want it pleated, that means you have to widen it up. So now I'm going to, you go to your fabric now, you will cut out, I'll show you how we are going to use this one pattern to cut out these 5 layers of sleeve. So when you get your fabric, you use this first to cut the longest part of your sleeve, which is this number 5. This is the longest part of your sleeve. So you place it like this, cut out exactly what you have here, then trim off these 5. When you trim off these 5, you use this same paper to cut out your number 4. After cutting it out, you trim off number 4, you cut out your number 3. After cutting here, you trim off, you cut out number 2. After cutting the number 2, you trim off and cut out the last part of your sleeve. So now we are going to illustrate that using our paper. So right now I'm going to be cutting out the full sleeve, the biggest part of the sleeve with my paper. You can decide to cut straight with your fabric. But me, I'm using my paper to cut all the 5 layers of the sleeve. So I'm cutting out exactly what I have here. I'm going to be cutting out this. Okay, here is our final result. It's looking very beautiful. Our 5 layers, beautiful.